Greetings, everybody. Welcome to our stream. We are here to talk about JobStream AI and what we do from the standpoint of helping companies with building a business. Now, Jess, we have a lot of experience in the startup space. Lots of people out there are looking to build their business and scale it. We're doing some different things. We're not like every other recruiting agency or any other marketing agency out there. You could kind of say we're a blend of both. What are some good reasons why someone should trust us over perhaps maybe some of these other agencies that are out there? And there are many of them.
Yeah, great. So what I think is that we have the most experience. So you bring the expertise in the recruiting and the building businesses. I bring the expertise in marketing. Now we're here and we're combining it into a one-stop shop that's extremely affordable. So we've done it for ourselves. We've done it for other people. We have a proven process. We have results to speak for themselves. So that's one of the best reasons to trust us. We're also extremely transparent. That's why we make these videos and we have this channel because we want everyone to understand exactly what we do. Also, we're extremely responsive. And I don't know about you, but in the past, I've worked with many people who take days and days to answer an email. They never get back to you. They're supposed to do this work, they ghost, or they don't do a great job. I've never had that experience with, like, I know that I don't do that in my business, and I know that you don't do that in your business. So that is something I'm really, really proud of. Whereas, like, during business hours, I respond quickly. I never ghost. I've never missed a deadline in my life. So that's just something like the quality of work is there. And honestly, for the price, we're one of the cheapest I've ever seen for what we do and the value that we bring. So I think those are all amazing reasons. What else would you add?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you've heard it said many times, you can't have a service that is, cost effective, good, and fast, right? Usually those three things don't come all in the same package. I mean, maybe a few things in my mind come, affordable, fast, and high quality. But that would definitely, our service definitely would fall into that category because as a recruiter, trust me when I say I know how the industry is. I know how difficult it is to find really good people who are going to be able to get you those candidates quickly and who are going to be able to get you really, really outstanding talent. But usually there's a huge price tag slapped on that, and it could take a lot more time because there really is no specialty there for a good number of recruiters. It's a lot of generalists and stuff like that. We're really trying to hone in on and focus on sales and helping your company grow there. So it begins with the marketing plan. We'll help you with like design and and implementation of offers and like what are some ideas to like get your marketing lifting the company up a little bit, and then from there we'll be able to help you build a sales team that's highly competent and able to execute on that marketing plan, which by the way, there's lots of marketing agencies out there, right? And between Jess and I with what we're doing there, organic and paid, that actually comes with, by the way, the fees that you'd be paying for recruitment. So you're getting two essential services in one foul swoop with no risk from the standpoint of you're not going to be spending a ton of extra money on ads, a ton of extra money on XYZ. Like, we're going to be able to be fair and reasonable with you and be able to do multiple things for you at the same time that are extremely cost effective, and normally would charge you an arm and a leg, right? So, those are a few really good reasons to use us. Another good reason is because when we talk about what other companies are doing today, right? It's very compartmentalized. There's very few companies that are doing like a holistic approach to the business. Like the fact that we start from the jump with your offer, right? Like what are you offering and how is that positioned in the market? Regardless of what size business you are, that's important, right? You can't start any other way. It's like trying to run a company or trying to run a kitchen without food. It's literally that crazy, right? Like, so there are some people who do have a very limited inventory of food and they're trying to run a kitchen and it just doesn't work, right? And so in a very real sense, like if you're a business that doesn't have a strong offer, doesn't have a large inventory of options for people to choose from, it can be a little bit more difficult to get that business to be exciting and stand out, especially in the SaaS world. What say you, Jess?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I think our price is really, really important because we're giving you such high value and we want it to be affordable because we know we are working with startups. So, we want to help as many people as we can. And unfortunately, life is expensive and we have bills, so we do have to charge something, but we are really trying to come in that sweet spot of like, how many people can we help for the lowest possible price while not living on the streets? So I think that we really hit that sweet spot. And yeah, and I think, like Adonis said, having your offer is the most important, and then marketing that offer is the second most important. And we are experts in that, and therefore, there's all the value. You will get the right people, your offer will take off, you'll get results, you'll get an ROI, all of those things. We're very confident that we can do for you, and that's why we created JobStream AI in the first place.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing from a pricing standpoint with marketing, because certainly we covered pricing of recruitment and how that all works in a prior video, which you haven't if you haven't seen that one, look for it on our YouTube channel. It will appear. You'll be able to see kind of what we're doing on the recruitment side and how that works. It's tied into our marketing, right? So if you're trying to do both recruitment and marketing, see that prior video. If you're just trying to do marketing, we have a couple of different ways that we can go. The first way is like if you're trying to do organic marketing, right? You're just trying to do your daily bid. Like you need to put out some stuff on social media, or you need to make some videos, or you want to do kind of more of like an organic approach of like direct messaging on LinkedIn, or just setting up campaigns on email, right? These are small steps that you can take that make a huge difference. We usually recommend using a couple of different tools for automating the process. We believe automation needs to be a part of a person's marketing process. But the first and foremost, like we said, we're going to talk about your offer first. So if you're like trying to go the route of like, okay, I want to get some help with marketing, what do we do? Step one is we talk about your offer and do some consulting and organizing of your offer, and maybe even some restructuring to help it succeed to the best of its ability. We'll package it up, put it in some different lights so you can see how it looks. And once you're happy with it, then we can move to the next step, which would be how do we approach the market with it, right? So if you want to go the organic route, we can totally go that way. You've got all the social media channels at your disposal, LinkedIn included. You got email. That's something that we really specialize in, is on the email marketing side of things. We also have a really strong way of getting to people over the phones. That's something we'll also do for companies. You can't underestimate the power of calling people on the phone, especially if you've got a really great offer and you've got good targets. So that's something that we'll do for you, believe it or not. It's hard to find good, cold calling agents. Well, you found somebody there. Now, for the cold calling services, I must warn you, that's our premium service. We would say that that falls in line with our VIP package, which you can find on our website. Just the same as we would help job seekers with reaching out to their target audience, or consultants with helping them reach out to their target audience, you could look at our packages online and kind of see how they would apply to a larger business. We would take a very similar approach, but in terms of the offer and what you're bringing to the table as a business, we would spin things a little bit differently there. But the VIP is a good template, so to speak, to see how much you would be paying for marketing. And by the way, once you have your first two clients, that's kind of the ideal goal for us, is to make sure that you get at least two awesome new clients. And how you gauge a good client, we can talk about, but and some of these things are custom. But the idea is to really get you on your feet, get you in flow, get a good client acquisition system in place and a great offer. And then from there, we would just talk about what sustaining that would look like and how we fit in terms of how you'd be paying us from that point forward, if your intention is to continue using us for those purposes. There's also another side, right? A side that you specialize more in, which is more common amongst larger businesses, but something that we make available at a decent price for smaller companies as well, which is paid advertising and paid marketing. So, Jess, talk a little bit with our audience about what you do from that vantage point.
Sure. So I specialize in paid ads, and that could be anything from Google ads, which I love right now and are very hot, especially for if you serve in like your local community, LinkedIn ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, and then obviously there's other types of paid advertising we could talk about, like billboards, getting you articles in Forbes, in CNN, and these things where they're sponsored articles, you pay for them, but it really builds trust and credibility and authority. And like I said in a previous video, you kind of want to be doing both, because when people see your paid ads really accelerates the amount of people that will see you and trust you. but they are going to start looking at your profiles, looking at your website. And so all these things do need to be in place. So if you do have relevant content going out, it'll just close the deal a lot easier and a lot faster because people will see your ad, they'll check you out, they'll see you have content that was posted recently that's helpful, valuable, and then they're going to want to buy from you. So I think it's better to do a whole little circle, but that's what I specialize in. So any type of paid advertising, from digital ads to landing you articles in the newspaper to putting a billboard on the side of the road, shooting commercials as well. I do have teams in Canada and the US that can help us shoot commercials at high quality professional. That would be custom though, that would be additional fees, but we would be able to talk about a custom plan if you want to do something like a Hollywood type production.
All right. Well, with all that said, I think there's a lot more to be discovered in a one-on-two call or one-on-one call with either one of us. I think we'd love to learn more about your business, learn more about the specific needs that you have, and we're very, very excited to talk what needs to be done. So, with all that said, JobStream AI, you can visit us there, jobstreamai.com. You can also find us on LinkedIn, Adonis McReynolds Jr. and Jessica Zeitz. We look forward to seeing you on the other side.